Hi everyone, Amy here. Welcome to your weekly update for Saturday, April 17th, 2021. And I have some big news to share. So instead of telling you my big news, I want to tell you and I want to show you. So I need to switch locations and I'll be right back. So it looks pretty good in here. Can you guess where I am? I'm in that annual house we have opened. Believe it or not, we are opening our annual house. We actually did a soft opening yesterday. It is fully open today and from now on. You may ask yourself, why? Why are you opening it so much earlier than you ever have? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, demand. You guys have been demanding to get in here. You want your tomato plants, you want some other types of different veggies, or even your annuals to get started for the spring and summer season. And the number two reason is, well, we're just out of room. We actually grew more than we ever have before. And all the greenhouses in the back are full, so all that stuff needs to come up and it is ready to go. A lot of stuff is fully rooted. We have a verbena over there with the roots coming out of the bottom of the pot, and now we're making more room in the back to grow more stuff because we have to keep the season going. So does that mean it's time to plant? No, absolutely not. It is way too cold to plant anything in this greenhouse. I think the low on Wednesday said it was going to be 28 degrees. Way too cold. That is freeze, frost. That would definitely damage any of these plants in here. You may ask, well, do you have tomatoes? I sure do, but they are very small. And no, you cannot plant those outside yet either. If you have a greenhouse, that's fine. If you want to keep them in a sunny window, that's probably fine as well if you wanted to get started early. So you may be asking, what do we have in here? Well, just looking around, I see lots of stuff. Of course, it's not all ready yet. It's still very early, mid-April. It's way too early for us to open this greenhouse, but like I said, we just did it anyway. But looking around, I see mandevilla, elephant ear, hibiscus, impatiens, a lot of things for shade, Gerber daisies, plenty of those clypedraniums we're known for. There's a new gomphrena over there that I talked about on the new annual video, the golden one. Azaleas, I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet. All of our 4-inch annuals here, petunias, calibrachoa, verbena. Lots of stuff in here, but of course more to come. And we also have little pots of herbs available. Not everything was ready just yet, but basil, the most important, is ready to go. Okay, so it's a little chilly outside, but I want to go show you two of my plant spotlights of the week. Then I'm gonna head over to the owl barn to finish up the video because we still have lots to talk about. Okay, so plant spotlight number one is a brand new lilac for 2021 from Proven Winners called Baby Kim. You may be familiar with its parent, Miss Kim. It's considered a dwarf lilac, but Miss Kim can get upwards of 5, 6, 7 feet tall. But this guy right here, Baby Kim, can get 2 to 3 feet tall by only 3 to 4 feet wide. So it does stay dwarf and compact. As you can see, well, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but it is starting to put on buds. It'll be fragrant purple flowers just like its parent sometime in May. These were actually planted last summer, so they're fully rooted in, ready to go. This little pot right here is a Proven Winner 2-gallon for $32.99. It's a little pricey, but it does have a patent on it because it's Proven Winner, so that's reflected in the price. So you want to plant this one in full sun. Well-drained soil is best, and with all lilacs they like an alkaline soil, so if you want to plant it with something like sweet peat instead of regular peat moss, it'll be beneficial to the plant. So my next plant spotlight is the fragrant viburnum. This is one of my favorite plants of all times. The flowers actually kind of remind me of the smell of like a gardenia or jasmine, like that really strong scent. This shrub is very easy to grow, can grow almost anywhere. You can give it full sun, up to pretty good amount of shade. The variety behind me, and we do have others, is called Cayuga. It is a Korean spice type. It can get to be about 4 to 5 feet tall by 3 to 4 foot wide, so it can pretty much fit anywhere in the landscape. So like I said, it was a bit too chilly outside to finish the video, so I came inside in the owl barn. One thing I did want to mention, if you plan on stop out the next couple of days, make sure you take a look at our tulips. Most of the 12,000 tulips we planted last fall are starting to bloom. Most of them are in bloom, and some just have buds on them, but they are looking terrific. It's like you just stepped into Holland, but here in Norton, Ohio. Other things going on around the nursery, our dogwoods finally came, and boy are they pretty. We had to wait almost a month for them. The ground where they were grown was actually too wet to dig, so as it started to dry out, they were able to dig, and they showed up yesterday. Unfortunately, they showed up in a semi instead of a flatbed, so it took us forever to unload them one by one because they were huge. And dogwoods weren't the only thing that came this week. We've got many more shipments of plants, and our sales yard is pretty much full. It's finally getting full. We're finally getting there. We got a lot of boxwood. We got some holly. We got hydrangeas are out now. There's shrub roses out. All those landscape plants, azaleas are out, rhododendrons, pretty much everything. So I've talked about the trees, the shrubs, and the annuals, but unfortunately the perennials just aren't ready yet. We pot those a little bit later. Because it's now cool, they're actually not rooting in as quick as we would like them to. So the perennial house is not open yet. We do have some perennials that we have overwintered. Those are available. The clematis are available, but we're still waiting on probably 90% of our perennial selection, which should be ready within the next few weeks or so. Also, on last week's video, we had a fun contest run for 2 $50 gift cards, one on Facebook, one on YouTube. Just wanted to congratulate, let's see, it was Sally on Facebook and Tara on YouTube. You were the winners. I believe I heard from both of you, so I was hoping you were able to come pick up your gift card. And speaking of another customer, I actually got an email from one of our customers saying, Amy, I can't see the printable monthly gardening calendars on your website. And I said, oh boy, I think I totally forgot to do them. It's been such a hectic winter and spring that I think I just completely forgot. So I took the next couple of minutes and was actually able to make them pretty quickly. So now if you go to our website, to the gardening calendar section, there are now printable links to a PDF of each month coming forward of all of our gardening tips and tricks. And speaking of that gardening calendar, we are now mid-April, so that means there's some new gardening to-dos, like for instance, just reading from our website, hundreds of creeping phlox begin to bloom in our Wolf Creek Botanical Garden. I did see that they are starting to bloom if you wanted to check those out when you come to check out the tulips. Plant blueberries for fruit and landscape beauty. Definitely, these are great plants. Not only do you get fruit, but they have awesome fall color as well. Plant cold hardy veggies. We actually talked about that when I was in the greenhouse. April 19th says install a peony ring to garden peonies now before new growth continues. I was outside the other day and I go, oh boy, what happened to my peony? It went from 1 inch out of the ground to like 12 inches. So I ran and got that plant support. I put it on that. I noticed another plant, my Chloe clematis, which is a bush clematis, was growing like crazy too. I thought instead of it getting out of hand, I would put a plant support on that. I put just the regular grid supports on both of those. To keep going, top dress your perennial beds with a thin layer of sweet peat. This is a great choice just to get nutrients into the soil. April 21st says plant your first batch of sweet corn and beans as weather permits. I'm not sure, next week's not looking good. Based on the forecast, we're gonna get pretty cold again. And then it says plant trees and shrubs, start spraying roses, but that's more near the end of the month. And another thing I want to talk about this week is I want to introduce you to a robin that has been around my office window. It is a leucistic robin. It is actually white on the backside. Now this thing has been driving me crazy. I think it knows it wants me to take its picture. For the last 3 or 4 days, I've went out every morning to get a good picture. My husband's a photographer. I borrowed his really, really long lens, so I was able to get some pictures. I wasn't happy with them exactly, but at least I was able to document it. So a leucistic robin is one that just lacks melanin. So that means the parts of the robin that should be dark are now almost white. So if you are a bird watcher or just interested, make sure you come on over and get your eyes on it, get a camera on it. It's really active in the morning. Usually by the time noon comes, I don't see it much anymore. But if you want to come see it, come check it out. Well, I wanted to thank you for watching. I hope we see you this weekend. I just wanted to end on a very happy birthday message to my husband, Dan. He turns the big 48 today. All right, well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.